So good morning, everyone. Before going to start, let me ask you one question. So anybody has any idea regarding what is the purpose of DevOps and why DevOps? Anybody has any idea? So whether it is right or wrong, you can answer. What is the purpose of DevOps and why DevOps? Whether it is right or wrong, you can answer, guys. So actually, this session is going to be the interactive sessions. Okay, so from the day one to the till the end of our course, our sessions is going to be like this only. It's going to be the interactive only. Now, what is the purpose of DevOps?
We use DevOps to establish the pipelines between the environments to deploy the things from lower environments to higher environments.
That's great. Any alternative answers? Okay. So now let me tell you a simple example. Let's say it was very high-end answer, so it was correct only. Now let me tell you a simple example. Let me tell you simple example. Let's say, so for suppose if you want to book a packet of biryani. So if you want to book a packet of biryani, so majorly we are having two applications, right? So what are they? If you want to book a packet of biryani, so in market majorly we are having two applications. What are they? So Swiggy as well as Zomato, right or not? So Swiggy as well as Zomato. So from the same restaurant, same packet of biryani, Swiggy can deliver within 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes. 15 minutes, 1 5. So from the same restaurant, same packet of biryani. So whereas in Zomato, it can deliver within 30 minutes. Within 30 minutes. So which one we will choose, sir? Which one we will choose?
The one which
Okay.
takes the less time.
So obviously it is going to be the Swiggy, right? So why Swiggy? One is more quicker than. Yeah, it is going to be the fastest delivery, right? In the same manner, if you want to create an application, if you want to create an application, or if you want to create any software, DevOps is the fastest way. DevOps is the fastest way as well as efficient. So this is why DevOps. So why DevOps? If you want to create any application or if you want to create any software, DevOps is the fastest way. Now, so let's say if you want to create any software, if you want to create any software or if you want to create any application, here we need to follow the life cycle. What we need to follow here? A life cycle called SDLC. What we need to follow? SDLC. Nothing but software development life cycle. What was that? Software development life cycle. So basically, we are the humans, right? We are the humans. So we are having the human life cycle. Human life cycle. In the same manner, for the software also, there is a life cycle called SDLC. Nothing but the software development life cycle. So in the software development life cycle, majorly we are having two teams. How many teams we are having here? Two teams. So one was the development team. One was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. So the second one was the ops team. Nothing but the operational team. So now see here totally how many teams we are having here. We are having the two teams. So one was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. So the second one was the operational. So see, So the things that are done by the development team. So first, what they will do, sir? They are going to do the plan, code, build, as well as test. And also the operational team. What they will do? They do deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So totally the development team. What they will do, sir? They are going to do the plan, code, build, as well as test. And operational team. What they will do? Deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So totally, how many phases we are having here? We are having the 7 phases. How many phases? 7 phases. So now my question is, in the SDLC, how many phases we are having? 7 phases, right? So how to remember this number? How to remember this number means, so actually how many days in a week we are having? We are having the 7, right? So simply we can remember this number. Now, so see here, let us discuss one by one. What is meant by plan, code, build, as well as test, and also deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Let us discuss one by one. So the first one is about what? So the first one is about the plan. Now, my question is, what is meant by plan? What is meant by plan? So see here. So let's say, if you are trying to construct an building, you are trying to construct an building. So ultimately we should have a plan, right? So how many stairs we are going to be construct? How many stairs we are going to be construct? What type of materials we are going to be use? How many workers we are going to be implement? What is the budget for our building? What is the timeline for our building? So these all are the plan, right? So in the similar way, if you are trying to I mean to say create an application, if you are trying to create an application, we should have the plan first. We should have the plan first. So the first one is about name of the application. What was that? Name of the application. Let's say I'm going to create the Paytm application. What we are going to create here? We are going to create the Paytm application. So the next one is about how many services we are going to be implement. So here services are nothing but recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, bus tickets. These all are the services. So I'm repeating again. So in the planning phase, so the first one is about the name of the application. So let's say we are going to create the Paytm application. So the next one is about how many services we are going to be implement. So here services are nothing but the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. So the third one is about how many developers we are going to be implement. Nothing but the dev team. So I'm going to implement 5 developers. How many developers here? 5 developers. So the next one is about on which technology you want to create your Paytm application. So in the market, we are having the number of technologies, right? So we are having the Java, we are having the .NET, we are having the Python. So on which technology you want to create your Paytm application? Next, what is the timeline for your application? So you want to create your application within 1 year or within 2 years or within 3 years. So what is the timeline for your application? Clear? Next. So on which cloud you want to implement your Paytm application? On which cloud? So in the market, majorly we are having 3 clouds, right? So we are having the AWS, we are having the Azure, we are having the GCP. So on which cloud you want to implement your Paytm application? So this is completely about the plan, guys. This is completely about the plan. So like clear for all of you about the plan? Offline, Madam. So only clear for all of you about the plan. So just try to confirm in chat box once so that I can. So that's great. So once plan was done, after this what we are having here? We are having the code. Now, what is meant by code? What is meant by? So see here. So once plan was done, after this, can you please repeat the cloud technology? So AWS, Azure as well as GCP. So we are having the AWS, Azure, GCP. Clear? So AWS is nothing but the Amazon Web Services, so Azure as well as GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So AWS was owned by the Amazon, Azure was owned by the Microsoft, GCP was owned by the Google. Next. So after plan, what we are having here? We are having the code. Now, what is meant by code? So see here, code is nothing but so whatever the development team I have involved in the planning phase, whatever the development team I have involved in the planning phase, so these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. Whatever the development team I have involved in the planning phase, so these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. So here what's my requirements? My requirements are nothing but the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets as well as bus tickets, right? So these developers are going to write the code in the Java language. So our requirements are this. Nothing but the code base. So I want to add one point here. So see, as a DevOps engineer, as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to write any code. It's going to be the 100% free of. It's going to be the 100% free of. Next. So after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. What we are having here? We are having the build. Now, so see here, what is meant by build? What is meant by build? So let's say development team has written the code in the Java. Development team has written the code in the Java. So when we see the Java code, we can able to read it, right? We can able to read it. So it is nothing but the human readable language. This is nothing but the human readable language. But the server will only understand the binary level language. Will only understand the binary level language. Nothing but the zeros and ones. So it is also called the lower level language. Okay. So here converting the human readable language into the mission understandable language. Nothing but the binary level language or called a build. Here converting the human readable language into the mission understandable language. Nothing but the binary level language or called build. So then next. So after build, what we are having here? We are having the test. What we are having here? We are having the test. Now, what is meant by test? So see here, it was very important. Let's say initially what we have created the Paytm application. What we have created here? We have created the Paytm application. So in that Paytm application, what we have created? We have created the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. So once we have created the applications, users are trying to access it, right or not? Ultimately, users are trying to access it. So let's say one of our user is trying to access the Paytm application. One of our user is trying to access the Paytm application. So that too is trying to access the bank transaction. That too he is trying to access the bank transaction. So he know, right, how much amount was there in his bank account. So absolutely he know. Let's say he is having totally 10,000 rupees. Totally he is having 10,000 rupees. Now, when he is trying to access our Paytm application, that to bank transactions, it is showing only 1,000 rupees. It is showing only 1,000 rupees. So, this is going to be the bug, right? This is going to be the error, right? So, this type of bugs, this type of errors has been resolved in the testing part. Has been resolved in the testing part. But my question is, who will do test? So ultimately we are having the QA team. So this is nothing but the quality and analysis team. Quality and analysis team. So here testers will do test. Next. So after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. What we are having here? We are having the deploy. Now, what is meant by deploy? So see here, deploy is nothing but whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server. Let's say this is my server. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server are nothing but the deployment. So simply we are going to call as deploy. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server are nothing but the deployment. So simply we are going to call as deploy. Clear for all of you about the deploy? So just try to confirm in chat box once. So అర్థమైందా మీకు? So then next. So after deploy, what we are having here? We are having the operate. What we are having here? We are having the operate. Now, what is meant by operate? So let's say this is my server. This is my server. So in my server, I am having the Paytm application. What we are having here? We are having the Paytm application. So once we have deployed our application over the server, so ultimately users are trying to access it. Ultimately, users are trying to access it. Let's say my server capacity was 100 members. My server capacity was 100 members, but the users are trying to access our application from the server is about 100 plus members. Actually, my server capacity was 100, but the users are accessing my application from the server is about 100 plus members. So at certain point of time, my server is going to be down or not. Why? Because server capacity was 100, accessing are 100 plus members. So at certain point of time, my server is going to be down. So here, making the availability of 24 by 7, my server as well as 24 by 7, my application are nothing but the operate. So once your server was down, so automatically whatever the application inside the server we are having, it is going to be down, right? So here making the availability of 24 by 7, my server as well as 24 by 7, my application are nothing but the operate. So after operate, what we are having here? We are having the monitor. What we are having here? We are having the monitor. Now, what is meant by monitor? What is meant by monitor? So again the same example. Let's say this is my server. This is my server. So once I have deployed my application over the server, so automatically, let's say I am having the Paytm application, I have deployed my application over the server. So automatically users are trying to access it. So once the users are trying to access my application from the server, so automatically the server's utilizations, nothing but the CPU as well as RAM, it is going to be increased or so ultimately the server's utilizations, nothing but the CPU as well as RAM, it is going to be increased. So let's say at certain point of time, it crosses the threshold value, it crosses the mount value. So again my server is going to be down. So once the users are trying to access my application from the servers, so automatically the server's utilizations, nothing but the CPU as well as RAM, it is going to be increased. So at certain point of time, it crosses the threshold value as well as the, I mean to say mount value. So again my server is going to be down. So here monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but the monitor. Monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but the monitor. So guys, so actually we have done with the 7 steps. So if anybody has any doubts for these 7 steps, just try to let me know. So totally we have done with the plan, code, build as well as test. And also we have done with the deploy, operate as well as monitor. So now anybody has any doubts over these 7 steps? So just try to please confirm in chat box once. Clear for all of you? So build up. So see here, what is meant by build? So build is nothing but let's say development team has written the code. So let's say they have written the code in the Java. So when we see the Java code, we can able to read it, right? So this is string loop. So we can able to read it. So this is nothing but the human readable language. Okay. So but the machine, but the server will only understand the binary level language. Will only understand the binary level language. Nothing but the zeros and ones. So here converting the human readable language into the machine understandable language are called. So now, so see here, totally we have done with the 7 steps. Now development team has done their part. Operational team has doing their job well. Now my question is, where is the DevOps involvement? So totally we have created the application and also we have introduced those applications into the market. Now my question is here, where is the DevOps involvement? So let me tell you, so actually this scenario was before the DevOps. So once I have deployed my application over the server, my application has been built. Once I have deployed my application over the server, my application has been failed. So once the application has been failed in the server, ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team. So ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team. Now my question is, what was the confusion here? Means, so once the application has been failed in the server, the operational team will say to the development team, what they will say, our application has been failed in the server, our application contains bugs, our application contains errors. So these type of reasons, operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100%, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational way. So that's the reason our application has been failed. So once the application has been failed in the server, operational team, what they will say? Our application has been failed in the server. Our application contains bugs. Our application contains errors. So this type of reasons, operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say? Whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. That's the reason our application has been failed. So to avoid this confusion, to break this confusion, we are having the DevOps team. What we are having here? We are having the DevOps team. So as we can see here in the DevOps, the first three letters represent Dev, nothing but the development team. So the last three letters represent Ops, nothing but the operational team. So together called DevOps. So actually this team is going to be involved in the both the teams. So this team is going to be involved in the development team. So this team is going to be involved in the operational team. So I'm repeating again. So as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to write any code. So we are going to be involved in that team. So which type of versions they are using, which type of packages they are installing. So here we can get to know that idea. Clear for all of you? The So then next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the DevOps lifecycle. What we are having here? We are having the DevOps lifecycle. So now, so the DevOps logo represents one symbol. So anybody has any idea about this symbol? The DevOps logo represents one symbol. What was that? So infinity, right? So basically it's going to be the infinity. Now my question is, what is meant by infinity?
It's the never-ending process.
It's going to be the never-ending process, right? So in a similar way, DevOps also we are having the never-ending process. So why DevOps has never-ending process? Let me tell you. Let's say initially what we have created the Paytm application. What we have created here? We have created the Paytm application. So to create my Paytm application, what I have done? I have done the plan, code, build as well as test. Now also we have done the deploy, operate as well as monitor. So there will be another phase called release. So as of now you can ignore this release phase. So in upcoming sessions you will get to know that. Okay, so in the Paytm application, totally how many services I am having? I am having the 5 services, right? So I am having the 5 services. So we are having the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. Let's say this is my Paytm application version 1. This is my Paytm application version 1. So to create my Paytm application version 1, what I have done? I have done the plan, code, build as well as test. Now also I have done the deploy, operate as well as monitor. Now, so once we have introduced this Paytm application over the server, I mean to say into the market, so ultimately users are trying to access it. So let's say after 1 year, the Paytm owner has come up with new idea. Has come up with new idea. What he's saying means my application, my Paytm application is booming in the world. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 1 to Paytm application version 2. So when you are upgrading from old version to the new version, so ultimately we need to be implement new features. So let's say in the old version, in the version 1, totally I am having 5 services, right? So in the version 2, totally I am having 7 services. Old 5 to new. So again to create two new features, what I need to do? I need to do the plan. So in my plan, I am having like This time I am going to create DTH as well as metro tickets. So this was my plan. So regarding these two services, I need to write the code. We need to build it. We need to test it. We need to deploy it. We need to operate it. We need to monitor. So totally we have released the Paytm application version 2. So again I am going to upgrade from Paytm application version 2 to version 3. So in the version 3 totally I am having 10 services. How many services we are having here? We are having a 10 services. Old 7, 3 new. So again to create 3 new features, what I need to do? I need to do the plan, code, build as well as test. Now also we need to do deploy, operate as well as monitor. So as we can see here, when the versions are increasing, this loop is repeated. When the versions are increasing, this loop is repeating. So that's the reason our DevOps has never ending process. Our DevOps has never ending process. So clear for all of you why DevOps has never ending process. So actually I have taken as an example of Paytm. In the real world, in the real time, as we are using number of applications. So we are using the phone pay, Google Pay, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, even Chat GPT, DeepSeek, Copilot, all are the AIs, right? So these AIs are also handled by the DevOps team. So without DevOps, there is no even single application in the market. So here we can get to know that importance of DevOps. So just try to remember, without WhatsApp, we can able to survive. Without phone pay, we can able to survive. We can able to survive. All right. So here we can get to know that importance of DevOps. So then next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the before DevOps. What we are having here? Before DevOps. So actually, DevOps was come in the year of 2009. In which year? 2009. So before 2009, if you want to create any application or if you want to create any software, what type of methodologies they are going to be used means, so they are going to use like waterfall methodology. What type of methodology they are going to use? Waterfall methodology. So as we are moving from waterfall model to the DevOps model, as we are moving from waterfall model to the DevOps model, so ultimately in the waterfall model, we are having some drawbacks. Right or not? So ultimately we are having some drawbacks. So what was the drawbacks? Means, so let me tell you with simple example. Let's say this is me. This is me. I am at waterfalls. So let's say my water was started at here. My water was started at here. So after some time, my water was at here. My water was at here. Now my question is, did my water will go up again? Did my water will go up again? No, right? In the similar manner, in the similar way. So this is the waterfall model workflow. This is a waterfall model workflow. So if you have failed in the verification part, if you have failed in the verification part, you can't go back to the implementation phase. Or if you have failed in the implementation phase, you can't go back to the designing part. So ultimately, we can't go back to the previous step in the waterfall model. And also, let's say to come to the verification part, it has been taken 3 years of time. 3 years of time. So totally we have wasted our time here. And also for these 3 years of period, I need to provide the salaries for the developers. We need to provide the salaries for the developers, nothing but the money. So here time was wasted as well as money is also wasted. So this was the major drawbacks that are present in waterfall mode. So all the drawbacks was overcome in the agile methodology. where it was overcome in the Agile methodology. Now, my question is, what is meant by Agile methodology? So see here, this is my Paytm application. This is my Paytm application. So in that Paytm application, totally I am having 15 services. So let us try to split this one. Let us try to split. So 5, 5 as well as 5. So here, dividing the larger application into the parts, dividing the larger application into the parts and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but the agile methodology. Dividing the larger application into the parts and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but the agile methodology. Now my question is, what is meant by sprint? What is meant by sprint? So sprint is nothing but it is going to be the timeline. What was that? It is going to be the timeline. So setting the time. So we need to create this future within 1 year. So here we need to create this future within 2 years. So there we are going to be set as this. Now my question is, what about the drawbacks? So actually the drawbacks was come like we can't go back to the previous step, right? So in the Agile methodology, if you have failed in the test part, you can go back to the build phase. Or if you have failed in the build phase, you can go back to the designing part. So ultimately, we can go back to the previous step. Ultimately, we can go back to the previous step. So once we are moving to the previous step, we can save our time. We can save our money as well. So all the drawbacks that are present in waterfall model has been resolved in the Agile methodology. So nowadays all are using the Agile methodology in the market. I mean to say not all. So maximum people are using the Agile methodology. So actually as I am an Azure DevOps engineer, in my project I am using the Agile methodology. So if you want to implement the Agile methodology, we need to learn the DevOps. You want to implement the Agile methodology, you need to learn the DevOps. So then next. So after this, what we are having here? We are having the DevOps history. So what was the history here? So see, DevOps was oriented in the year of 2008. But what I have said? I have said 2009, right? So actually DevOps was come in the year of 2009 only. So see here, originally it was the discussion between two people. Who are they? Patrick DBS, Patrick DBS as well as Hendrik Click. So these are the two people that was the discussion happened between them. So what was the discussion means? So let's say this is my development team, this is my operational team. So once the application has been failed in the server, so automatically there will be a lot of confusion between operational team as well as development team, right? So now what if break this confusion? What if break this confusion? That was the discussion happened between Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. So in the year of 2009, they held a summit at Belgium. What was the summit here? What if DevOps comes into the market? So that was the summit happened in the year of 2009 at Belgium. So after this summit, DevOps was introduced. DevOps was introduced. So in the year of 2014, the annual state DevOps report was published. The annual state of DevOps report was published. Now, if DevOps had a birth certificate, if DevOps had a birth certificate, then the father name would be penetrated in as Patrick DBS. So ultimately, he is the inventor of DevOps. Who is he? Patrick DBS. So then next. So after this, what we are having here? Tools we used in DevOps. So remember guys, so this slide is very important. So what type of tools we are having in the DevOps and what we are going to learn in our course, we are going to see. So see here. So the first phase is about what? It is going to be the plan, right? So for the planning purpose, we are not going to learn any tool and we are not having any tool. So why we are not having any tool means, so basically it's going to be the plan, right? What type of application we are going to be create, how many services we are going to be implement, how many developers we are going to be implement, and also what type of cloud we are going to be use, how many developers we are going to be implement. These all are the plan. So for the planning purpose, we are not having any tool and we are not going to learn anything. So after plan, what we are having here, we are having the code. So my question is, at the end, who will write the code? At the end, who will write the code? Nothing but the development team, right? So after writing the code, we need to save that code, right or not? We need to track that code. So to save our code, to track our code, we are having the Git. What we are having here? We are having the Git, and also we are having the Subversion Zero. But not and also I mean to say what we are going to learn. We are going to learn the Git. So Subversion Zero. All are the old tools. So nowadays no one is using the Subversion as well as Zero. All are using the Git as well as GitHub. So in our course we are going to learn the Git as well as GitHub. So after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. So to build our code, we are having the number of tools. We are having the Maven and as well as Gradle. Now my question is, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the Maven. What we are going to learn here? We are going to learn the Maven. So after build, what we are having here? We are having the test. So to test our code, to test our application, what we are having here? We are having the Selenium as well as JUnit. Now my question is, who will do test? So ultimately the testers will do test, right? So whatever the tools I have mentioned in the test phase, so this was completely handled by the testers. So as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to learn any tools regarding the test. It's completely handled by the testers. Now, after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. What we are having here? We are having the deploy. So to deploy our code, we are having the number of tools. So we are having the Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, Stack, as well as Ansible. Now, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the Docker as well as Ansible. We are going to learn Docker as well as Ansible. So after deploy, what we are having here? We are having the operate. What we are having here? We are having the operate. So to operate our code, we are having the Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, as well as Stack. Here we are going to learn again Docker as well as Ansible, and also the most important tool. So without this tool, is not a DevOps engineer. Nothing but the Kubernetes. Okay. So in our course, we are going to learn Kubernetes very in depth. So for the Docker as well as Kubernetes, we are going to be spend around 25 days to 30 days. Okay. So here we are going to learn very in depth regarding the Docker as well as Kubernetes. So after operate, what we are having here? We are having the monitor. So to monitor our application, to monitor our infrastructure, we are having the ELK, Splunk as well as Nagios. So actually these ELK, Splunk as well as Nagios, all are the old tools, guys. All are the old tools. But what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the Prometheus as well as Grafana. What was that? Prometheus as well as Grafana. So it was very important tool, and also nowadays it was in trending. So remember, whatever the tools you are learning, so all are the tools that are in demand in the market. Okay, so currently we need to go with the market flow, right? So that's the reason we are going to learn Prometheus as well as Grafana. And also whatever the tools I have highlighted here, these all are the very important tools, and also these tools are using, I mean to say, in the market currently. Now, so this is completely about the SDLC life cycle, right? So to integrate all these phases, we are having the Jenkins, Bamboo as well as Hudson. We are having the Jenkins, Bamboo as well as Hudson. So to integration purpose, what we are going to learn? We are going to learn the Jenkins. We are going to learn the Jenkins here. So for the Jenkins alternatives, we are having the Bamboo Hudson. Nowadays, no one is using Bamboo Hudson. All are using the Jenkins. So in our course, we are going to learn the Jenkins. Clear for all of you? So online clear for all of you. What type of tools we are having and what we are going to learn in our course? Clear for all of you? So guys, so that's it from mine for today. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Doubts unte adagochu. So okay then. Bye all. Have a nice day. So see you on the tomorrow's class. Connect on tomorrow. Okay then. Bye all. Have a nice day.